There's a cruelty in escaping the life you were born into. Even if you have to, because your family and community oppresses you, you're still leaving behind people who you love. Not just a system, a structure, or circumstances, but those are also people who hurt you and people you resent. It's for that reason that for years I've been obsessed by reading the work from the French author Édouard Louis, because he can never fully shake that resentment. Dissects his escape from Alincourt, a place where masculinity was survival, where queerness was there for a threat, where poverty wasn't just economic, but a way of being. His father, brother, and neighbors clung to a brutal masculinity, not out of choice, but out of necessity. When you have no money, no power, no mobility, but then all you have left is dominance over your body, over others. And to deviate from that norm, to be soft, to read, to care, was to become an outsider. Louis was all of those things, which is why in the end he describes that he has to escape. But his fleeing, whilst liberating, was also a betrayal, because to leave is to say, I am not like you so much that I do not belong here. Throughout his work, he analyzes systems that he blames, not individuals. He analyzes how the men who beat him up were victims too. Yet he also describes that the resentment lingers, the guilt too, because he analyzes that he ferociously reads, becomes intellectual, and he starts behaving differently. He starts to become better than them. And that's the contradiction, I think, inherent, first of all, in class mobility. To rise above means you believe, as society tells you, that you deserve to. And therefore, in doing so, you become what the working class, your family, resents, someone who judges them. And that becomes more complicated, and I think the analysis gets deepened, specifically by how class and masculinity intersect. Women, the women in Louis's life, they had to endure it. His mother and sisters endured it. For years, his mother accepted silence, submission, violence, until she didn't. She escaped too in the end, but not through books like Louis, but through sheer survival. And the tragedy is that as masculinity isn't just a class structure, that type of violence is also something she covers in her new life in Paris. So in the end, Louis wrestles with these contradictions. He is a successful man educated at the most prestigious university in France. He's a respected intellectual. And in a sense, he is free. He is liberated. He's allowed to pursue his identity. But he still has that resentment. He still has to admit that he came from somewhere, that there is a compassion that he understands precisely because he sees that there are structures that destroyed his family. So masculinity, it's a cage. Class, it's a sentence. And therefore, even to escape means total freedom may not be possible. So maybe the best that Louis can do is to name what shaped it, sit with the contradiction, and keep obsessively writing our way out.